Chair, I also agree with the Honourable Khabo. Really, we can't, it's disheartening to spend the whole day speaking to people that don't appoint themselves. We want the minister, we want the DG, and we want the department. Let me start with the DDG acting skills. DDG acting skills, do you know the process of appointing CEOs in the SETAs?
We can answer, Tati Mabusa.
Yes, precisely.
No. Press the button.
Yeah. Yes, precisely.
Are you aware that there were CEOs in SETAs that have been appointed recently for a period of 5 years?
Yes, in terms of the act, they were.
Did they follow that process?
The regulation does provide for that.
What is
the
maybe take me through the regulation. I'm looking at it. I assume you also know it. So what must happen when, let's say, manufacturing and engineering SETA wants to appoint a CEO? Maybe take the South Africans through the process.
Precisely what happens is that if the period of the AA ends, automatically the period of the CEO must end. But then there are other intricacies that are involved there. One of them is the one that you are raising, to say there's a regulation that grants the minister the right then to appoint, or to appoint, let me put it that way, to further appoint a CEO who has proven to perform very well organizationally and in terms of all the requirements that are there. If I may assist with regards to that, I'm not quite forgotten the number of the regulation, but if you simply go to appointment of SETA CEOs, it will take you straight to that regulation.
The regulation says there must be a recruitment process, and then the accounting authority must recommend 3 names to the minister. But that doesn't mean there must not be a recruitment process. Do you agree with me, DTG?
Not fully. It states that as far as the incoming new accounting authority goes, because their first engagement now is then to set into process the process that we're talking about. However, the other part that is there simply provides for the AA that is incoming to make a recommendation to the minister whether they want to extend the existing CEO or not.
Okay, let me do it this way. Which day were the new accounting authorities appointed by the minister?
That should be before the year term ended, 30th of September.
And then when did they recommend the appointment of the CEOs, or extend their contracts?
If I may, you, through Chair, and through you, Honourable Lonzi, there are 2 processes there, the substantive process as well as the procedural process. The substantive process is that you had AA that had a task to perform of sitting, convening, and then thereafter take a decision and transmit that decision to the minister. Now, they did that within the period that is prescribed. Now, as to the procedural part thereof now, to say when did the minister then sign off the recommendation, it is another matter. But then the key thing is that the incoming accounting authority set before the expiry of the time of the CEOs.
DDG, the accounting authorities are new, we agree. Sure. They are just appointed now.
Yes.
And then these accounting authorities then make a recommendation to the minister, probably not having even set more than 1 or 2 meetings at most, to say that we want to appoint this CEO for an additional period of 5 years. There was no recruitment process, there was no advert, there was no shortlisting process, there was no selection committee, but 3 names. In fact, even worse, in some of them, they only recommended 1 name, and the minister then appointed those people as CEO for a period of 5 years.
No, that's why, Honorable Lonzi, I'm creating these three paths so that you may understand how the process went by. The minister actually issued a first memo to the AAs, which was not interpreted correctly. But then a second one, which was explaining exactly what is supposed to happen. This is what I'm explaining, to say the contract ended. And now, but in terms of legislation, the incoming AAs did have the latitude then to then recommend the reappointment of SETAs who had performed. That is in terms of the Act. But in the instance where there is no recommendation, they were then to submit names. And the recommendation.
DDG, can I read this? Can I read this to you? The minister is responsible to appoint a CEO for respective SETA based on the 3 names recommended by the accounting authority in accordance with this constitution. 2, the accounting authority of a respective SETA must, I'm not sure about the parts you are telling me, that's a very operative word, must. A, follow a recruitment process. B, place a national advertisement to invite candidates to apply for the position. C, have a shortlisting process by which selected candidates can be interviewed. D, have a selection committee to select candidates to be interviewed. And E, which is what we are talking about, make a recommendation of 3 suitable candidates from which any one can be appointed by the minister after consultation with the cabinet and irrespective of the placement of a name in the list. Are you aware of what I'm reading here?
Yeah, that holds, but only as far as when the AA has not recommended the extension of the current CEO for another 5-year term. That then
which section here speaks about giving the AA powers to extend the term of a CEO for an additional 5 years without following this process that I've read out from you? That is in the Act.
That's the regulation. That's the regulation of the Act.
Which one is it? So that I can go to it.
Yeah, it's the one that I'm saying. I've just forgotten the number. But if you can simply scroll.
I'm scrolling here. I can't see it.
You will find it.
I'm scrolling here. I can't find it.
But it's certainly there.
So you agree with me? So maybe let's establish this. That's why we need the minister here, because you are saying this. So you are telling me there's some other section that you forgot. So in a way, you agree with me that this process I'm reading out to you now was not followed. A separate process was followed.
No, I'm not forgetting a section. I'm just forgetting the number of the regulation.
Okay, let me make it easier step by step. The accounting authority of a respective SETA must follow a recruitment process. Was a recruitment process followed in the appointment of these current CEOs?
Honorable Lonzi, that's why I'm saying to you, there are new AAs that are incoming. This is precisely the process that they must follow. In the instance,
I'm talking about the CEOs that have now been appointed for an additional 5 years. I'm asking a very straightforward question. Was a recruitment process followed?
It couldn't be followed.
Okay, so the recruitment process was not followed.
For the extension, because there's a regulation.
That's fine. There was no national advert to invite candidates to apply for the position. Was there? I assume there wasn't, was it?
There will be an advert that will invite CEOs.
Was there a national advert to invite candidates for the current positions of the CEOs which have now been appointed for an additional 5 years? Is there such an advert?
It's still coming.
So these ones who have been appointed for 5 years, there was no advert for their appointment.
It's an extension in terms of the regulation.
So their extension, there was no advert.
It doesn't need an advert. It simply needs
there was no shortlisting process.
Performance.
Well, you are telling me about the legislation that you can't even tell me.
Yeah, let's do this. The question there is that I want you to clarify. There was no advert. You are saying it's still coming.
For those that were not extended. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the question was, there are other CEOs who have been extended. So he's asking for those, or about those. So these ones were extended. That's where the questions are. He's saying there was no advert. Just answer yes, there was no advert. Because if you are saying it's still coming, then that's where, because you almost lost me now. That it's still coming for what?
No, I think we're not on the same page with.
Yeah, let's be on the same page.
No, I
Honorable
fully,
Lonzi,
through
what
you,
I'm
Chair,
s-
if I can just interject. DDG, I don't want to, I think I'll spend my whole 20 minutes on this question. Can you take us to the regulation that allows for an extension of 5 years in the Skills Development Act? I'm willing to waste my time and wait for you to research for
Yeah,
it.
if you can allow me to do that, I will do it.
There are other members of the department, I'm sure they can fast track this process.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
in the meantime, ask the team to help you get it, whereas he continues with other questions. Is it possible that that you can ask somebody that the Kuza next to you, because he's the head of NSA, he should have it. Get it for him, and whilst we continue with other questions.
And
No, it's okay, Chair, but the fact of the matter, Chair, that regulation is there, and that's the regulation that informed
I think the DDG
the
should just
minister
share
to
the regulation.
No, it's okay.
in that regard.
Yeah.
No, let's do this.
I mean, we're not talking about a decision that was taken 10 years ago. We're talking about a decision that was taken now. In fact, it should be in your emails. Because the letter that the minister would have sent to the AAs would have quoted that particular regulations. So the DDG should just open his emails and check it. It shouldn't take that long. Now we're saying, please take us to that particular section.
You see, Chair, that the regulation that I'm referring to,
And please read it for us.
no, he's actually given me a memo here, but I'm relating to a regulation.
Yeah, can it be found, the regulation?
Yes,
I've tried to
yes,
find.
that's what I
I'll
wanted
tell you
to
what
do.
I know. I'll tell you what I've read in the Act. I know that there can be an appointment of an acting CEO for a period of 6 months.
That's true.
That's what I know. That's what I've read. I can point to it. I can take you to it. You are saying to me and this parliament that a CEO who has served their term can be reappointed for a period of 5 years without a recruitment process, without an advert, without a shortlisting process, without a selection committee, and the name can simply be recommended to the minister. Now, I've read the process as far as the SDA is concerned. And I've got a lot of other work that I do. This is your only work. You don't have to worry about T-shirts like me. You should know the regulations off the top of your head. I am reading to you the Skills Development Act, and I am saying to you, please take me to the regulation that allows the minister to appoint a CEO for 5 years additional on top of their term, without an advert, without a recruitment process, without a selection committee, without shortlisting process. I'm willing to wait. In fact, I don't even want to go to other questions, Chair. I can give the next